So for some of you, this vlog, its title, everything is not a surprise either because we've already talked one-on-one about this, or because you watched one of the other earlier videos that I just kinda popped this into the middle of somewhere of a completely unrelated one just because I needed to spill my guts and just needed to talk about it. And I kept saying I would eventually make a vlog soon, actually properly addressing this topic. I was mainly waiting on us having all the facts first, and there's only like a couple things we're still waiting on, but basically, yeah, we've got all our answers now. So, as you can deduce from the title of this vlog, my mom just found out she has lung cancer. About a month ago or so. Maybe a little longer at this point. Basically, we really didn't see this coming at all, honestly. Oh, I just undid the tie on my shirt. Cute. Did not mean to do that. This is gonna be a train wreck of a vlog, I can tell already, but anyway, we didn't see this coming. Couple months ago, probably maybe mid-June, early July, somewhere in there, she noticed she was suddenly having a lot of trouble breathing, with her stamina, with exercising, with things like that, and initially she thought she was having an asthma flare, which, fair enough, those happen. It was coinciding with all the crazy wildfires in California and everything, and we were getting a lot of smoke from those, so I mean, okay, fair enough. The only flaw with this thing is that I'm more severely asthmatic than her, and generally, if there's like the tiniest amount of smoke in the air, or anything else for that matter, I'm the first one to have a flare-up, either with just an asthma attack or full-on flare that goes on and on. But I never did. So that seemed odd that she would have such a massive flare and I would have nothing. So initially I thought, hey, maybe my asthma's getting better or something, but yeah, no, false hope for me. No. I've since flared since then, so no such luck for me. But it seemed really weird that she had this flare out of nowhere, and went to her doctor eventually to get a breathing treatment and did not respond to it. Now, those of you with asthma know that is not a good freaking sign. If you go to get an actual, like, full-on official breathing treatment from your doctor, and that doesn't even help, because usually you have your maintenance inhaler, you have your rescue inhaler. If those fail, yeah, you go to your doctor, you get a breathing treatment. If that fails, they send your ass to the ER, which is where they sent her. And they had her do a chest x-ray seeing what the hell's going on. Honestly, at this point, they were suspecting maybe she had a DVT or a deep vein thrombosis break off and maybe go to her lung, that she had like a pulmonary embolism or something, which honestly, okay, the symptoms actually did line up with that, and while that is freaking terrifying to consider, if you catch one of those in time, it's not necessarily instant death. You can have those treated with clot-busting drugs and stuff. They can be treated, you just have to be on top of it if that shit happens. Because, yeah, if you ignore one, you will die, but okay, so they thought maybe it was that. So they wanted to find, if it was, where is it in the lung, how big is it, how much of these drugs do we need to give her, you know, the whole 9 yards. What they were not expecting to find on this x-ray was a shadow and some scarring. So, that just, I mean, we knew it wasn't a blood clot, but that was now suddenly, oh, we've gone from asthma flare to blood clot to holy shit, does she have cancer, in one fell swoop in the course of a day, mind you. So they scheduled her to have, oh, what was the first thing? I think the first thing they sent her for was a CAT scan, and that showed even more definitive outlines and things of this thing in her lung. So they sent her for a PET scan, which I forget what exactly that stands for. I am amused that we have CAT scan and PET scan. It's just like, oh, are we the vets now? Yeah, I gotta make light of it or I'll cry. So, anyway, but a PET scan, basically, if you have cancer anywhere in the field of vision of where they're testing, it will light up like a Christmas tree. So, they gave her one of those, and supposedly, not only did the thing light up, but so did a bunch of lymph nodes. And this is what her original pulmonologist they sent her to was telling her. However, where he told her her tumor is didn't align with what was being shown in the scans. So that was kind of a little bit fishy, kind of suspect that he was claiming that it was not down in the lowest part of your lung lobe. He was claiming it was up where the bronchial tubes meet the lung, and that this is a really bad positioning, that it's almost impossible to get to, which seemed weird. That seems like it should be easier to get to, but I'm not a doctor. Claiming that if he were to miss trying to do a biopsy on it, he would, puncture her aorta or some crap. I don't know, it all sounded really hokey. So his genius idea was, let's just take out your whole lung and just be rid of the problem. She's like, I have a better idea. I'm getting a second opinion. And oh my god, the headache she went through with our frickin' insurance company trying to get another pulmonologist who would give her a second opinion. We hit multiple ones that claimed to be in our network that apparently weren't in our network. Got one that apparently would have seen her, but he was in frickin' New Zealand, so he couldn't. So finally, alright, got someone else to see her. He looks over these scans, and he's just like, that other doctor told you what? Yeah, no, basically everything he told you is wrong. Your tumor is way down here, at the bottom of your lung, not at the top of it, first off. Whatever he told you about the aorta is bullshit. That's not something that would happen. There's not even that much scarring, and honestly, I don't see lymph node involvement, so I don't know if he was looking at the right person's scans or what, but that is not what I am seeing here. So that was kind of reassuring, and he set her up for her biopsy. She had that done Monday, and they said they needed to test it for more conclusivity for what type of lung cancer specifically it was, and they would get back to us. However, it wasn't this doctor himself who would be giving her the results. We have now hit a third doctor, this one apparently an oncologist, but this one claiming that, okay, yeah, tumors in the lower lung, but I see lymph node involvement, so let's, do a brain scan, because apparently lung cancer loves the brain and runs in your family, so I mean, better check the brain, and while we're at it, we should just, cut open your throat and wedge something down there and check the lymph nodes behind your breastbone, make sure there's nothing in there, because I'm seeing swelling and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we haven't gotten as far as that happening yet, but my dad made a big point of wanting to contact the last doctor to make sure. Does this even sound correct? Is this guy a quack? Because if this guy is quack, we need to, find somebody who's not. Yeah, no, apparently said, no, that actually sounds normal. That sounds correct, actually. It's like, you told us you didn't see lymph node involvement, therefore why is he saying there is? Instead of the other guy. Don't freaking know! We don't freaking know, because this part of it has not been done yet. And until it is, they aren't willing to remove the tumor until after all the testing's done. But as far as they can tell so far, the one light at the end of the tunnel is that it's apparently not mesothelioma, which is the one that's caused by asbestos. That's actually what killed my grandparents, both of them, and at least one of my great-grandparents. So the thought of that was freaking terrifying, because if she had also had that, that would mean that Oh, if she was also exposed to it, then we've all no doubt been exposed to it if she apparently somehow was exposed to it. But apparently, no. Hers was most definitely caused by years of smoking, which she has not been a smoker for years now, but it's just funny that she kept joking for years and years and years when she still was a smoker. You watch, if I ever quit smoking, that'll be when I get lung cancer. She's eating her words now. So, apparently, from what we've been told this far, I think what they said she had, I know it starts with adeno. It's either adenocarcinoma or adenosarcoma. I want to say it's adenocarcinoma, though. So, I mean, don't come at me in the comments if I'm somehow wrong on this. I kind of got bombarded with all this info when they walked in the door on Friday afternoon, and just rapid fire info, which just, you know, I'm mildly autistic, just that much thrown at me all at once, just my brain, like, kind of freaking shut down. I retreated upstairs and I didn't come out for the rest of the day, and honestly, I barely came out today either, just because I'm freaking overwhelmed. So, I believe that's what I was told. I don't think they know the staging yet. I think that part still has to wait on those last 2 tests they want to do, because obviously if they find it elsewhere, that's going to up the staging level, and if it's not, then it's probably just a 1 or a 2, depending. I need a sip of water, hold on. Okay, so, I mean, it could be worse. At least it didn't show up as being in any other organs yet, but I mean, now that they threw the thought out there, now I'm all kinds of freaked out of, what if it is in the brain, you know? Just holy shit. Holy shit. Just, can we not trigger me, please? Like, of all the kinds for them to suggest she could potentially also have, like, could it please not be that freaking one? Okay? But apparently the universe doesn't like me, so this is out there as a possibility. It just really sucks. I put on eye makeup, so I try to will myself to not cry talking about this shit, but, I'm kind of losing the battle, but, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Basically, the very first of the pulmonologists she went to see was very doom and gloom about his interpretation of it, which we're unsure of how much truth there even was to his or not, but if there was, that's still terrifying. The second one made it sound much more like, oh yeah, we've got this, we'll get you cured. And now this third one is just like, well, I mean, 40% of all patients who have this type of cancer have it recur within 2 years. It's like, you know, that's not what she needs to be hearing right now. I don't think any of us need to hear that right now. Honestly, I could take that, but I don't think anyone else could take that. But, like I said, it's a lot. It is a lot to take in. It is a lot to deal with and cope with. My dad has really not been doing well with that, predictably enough. I mean, we've talked about here before, he is an alcoholic to begin with, so you throw this into the mix, guess who's been drinking like a fish? Guess who's been taking all his anger out on yours truly, for basically breathing. So I mean, I've spent a lot of time just holed up in my room, just trying to keep to my own damn self and stay out of his way, because it's kind of one of those out of sight, out of mind sort of situations where if I just stay out of his damn way, he doesn't see or hear me, generally I go unnoticed and he doesn't fuck around with me. Unfortunately, if I'm not the one getting shit taken out on, it then falls on Kimberly, but honestly, you know what, I gotta look out for number one. It's not my problem to worry about her, so she's a big girl, she can take care of herself, but, doesn't make it any easier to deal with. I mean, this is a lot to deal with anyway, but then you throw that into the mix too, it's just like, oh, this is just an all-around clusterfuck of awful. Yeah. Yeah. That. I mean, he was kind of getting bad with that anyway, but yeah, this took it to an all other level. So, but this is not about him, so we're done talking about that now. But, I mean, to say I'm scared is the understatement of the century. Same goes for my depression, for that matter. I think the very first week of all of this, of us knowing that it was very likely cancer, I had 1 week where I basically did nothing but cry and drink. Those are the 2 things I did, and yeah, I've mentioned this in a couple other videos too, after kind of disappearing for a week in there when it was going on, because obviously I was in no shape to film like that. I mean, I pulled myself out of my little drunken barrel hole, whatever. I've been fairly good about that since then, but yeah, that 1 week was not good. But my anxiety's all fucked up off the charts. I mean, every little thing feels magnified right now. All my little OCD quirks, like the doorknob thing, those have magically resurfaced. I am so bummed. I had gotten so good with that one too, because those who are newer here, yeah, I had the weird OCD quirk of anytime that I would leave the house, I would have to check every single doorknob in this house to make sure they were all locked, tap them 4 times in sets of 4, so in reality 16, but my brain likes 4s, so 4 sets of 4, and go around them multiple times, however many times it took my brain to shut up, to make sure that they are indeed actually locked. You know, a normal sane person would be able to look at it once and be satisfied with that. Yeah, no, not me. I apparently have to spend about a good 15 minutes just going around and round and round and round and round and round and round, checking the damn doorknobs over and fucking over again. So, you know, that's a thing. One of many, but that one just really sucks because I had worked so hard to get to a point where I could do it once, and I had done it to where instead of the whole tap thing, I could just place my hand on the door above the doorknob, just hold it there for a second, and walk away and be fine with that. Do you know how long it took me to get to that point? Do you know how many years of working on that it took me to get to that point just for all the fucking relapse like that? I'm really frustrated with myself. I mean, I know that it's understandable that my freaking anxiety and OCD would be spiraling out of fucking control right now, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not hurting anyone or anything with my stupid little OCD quirks. They're not harmful ones in any way. They're more just disruptive to actually being on time for shit. But I mean, other than that, it's not hurting anything. I mean, a lot of my weird OCD quirks generally have something to do with safety in some way or form. Like, obviously, there's my doorknobs one. I kind of get the same way over the fridge door. Never mind that if it were left ajar, it would be beeping, but, you know, there's no convincing my anxiety that somehow the little alarm in it's not going to be broken magically this time somehow and just not beep and have all our food get spoiled and get food poisoning or some crap. I don't know. It's a whole bizarre thing. I have to check the oven, then the stove, make sure they're off. I have to make sure most electronics are off and unplugged because I am convinced that something will just magically go up in flames for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It just, they're all safety based. I noticed that there is this common thread between them, and I guess it kind of makes sense that that would be something that would be going completely AWOL batshit crazy in my brain right now when I feel like, yeah, the world is not safe right now. This is not okay. None of this is okay. Nothing feels safe right now, so I guess it would make sense that the logical thing my brain would cling to is trying to make things safer in a weird kind of way, even though logically I can reason out that there was nothing wrong in the first place with any of the things, but I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. When you don't actively suffer with OCD, it's hard to explain the whole thought process behind it in a way that makes any kind of sense. I don't know, but that is a thing, and that's kind of where I'm currently at with that. Um, I've had good days, I've had bad days, I've had in between days. You know, um, generally, if I've missed a day filming here, and there's not something up very first thing in the morning the next day, it's pretty safe to assume I had a bad day and a lot of crying was probably involved, and I needed time to myself. Um, Otherwise, I've been trying to just keep myself busy and preoccupied 24 effing 7 just as a distraction with kinda no in between. It's an interesting thing because, like, I'll go in between going like 1,000 miles an hour to hitting a damn brick wall of depression and just crying, and then go right back to the other. It's kind of sort of almost like bipolar, but it's not the actual bipolar thing. I don't know. It's weird, and I know it's weird. But so far, what it sounds like is going to happen, not for me, for her, but what it sounds like is going to happen is after they get through scanning her brain and doing whatever the hell that procedure is with the lymph nodes. I've never heard of that particular one until this, so I mean, I couldn't honestly tell you what it's called. After they do both of those, then I think they're going to decide between if they're going to try radiation first or if they're going to try surgery first. Apparently, both of them are going to be involved, but they have to decide which one they're doing first and which one they're doing second. And I'm not sure chemo's been ruled out. They're more concerned with the other two right now, but I think the other one is potentially on the table, but they're trying to not resort to it if they can avoid it, which, I mean, fair enough. I don't wish that shit on anyone, but it just... none of this is going to be pleasant. None of this is going to be fun. And honestly, they haven't given us any kind of survival rate odds or anything, which I think that's what's freaking me out the most. Because at least if I knew for sure what it kind of looked like odds-wise, I could start to try to at least grapple with that and try to accept it. But with that just being up in the air and unknown, I am not doing so well with the not knowing part. I don't think she wants to know, and that's probably half the problem there, but, like, if my dad could ask somehow and get that answer without her being in the room, I don't know how that would work. I don't know. Probably stupid, but it doesn't stop me from wishing I had that answer. And maybe they just legitimately don't know yet. I don't know, but, it's strange. It's strange. And it's scary, but I don't know. And a lot of the normal things that I would be running to for comfort right now are honestly just not working. But they feel more triggery than before. I don't get it. I don't really know where to go from here, what to turn to, or anything. It's strange. It's a really weird place that I'm in right now. So with that in mind, you know, if I miss some days here and there, I need you guys to be patient with me and just hang in there. I'm not bailing on YouTube or anything like that. There's days I'm gonna need to take as mental health days with probably no warning. Just hang in there. As I know more, I'll try to keep you guys in the loop. This is legit all I know as of this moment, up to this point. So it's just a lot of unanswered questions at the moment that I wish I had answers to, that I don't have answers to, that are making me crazy that I don't have answers to, but yeah, between that and just not knowing for sure what exactly is going to happen. I do well with structure and knowing exactly what's going to happen. When I don't have that, that's when my anxiety goes apeshit. So I know this is one of those things where there's kind of no way of knowing for sure how it's going to go down, but I mean, as much as one can know anyway, that would be something. But I don't know, I keep losing the second half of my trains of thought. They're leaving the station without me. But yeah, since that's kind of all I know, I guess that's all I can say about it right now. So, that's where we're at. This is the thing I've been alluding to for like the past month on and off, for those who hadn't already been made privy to this info. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at right now. It's a rough place to be. I know I'm far from the only one who's ever walked this road and lived it, but doesn't make it any easier to be the one going through it all. So, anyways, before I lose my shit and start crying again, I'm just gonna wrap this up. So, my usual sign off honestly feels too cheesy to use right now, so I'm just gonna go. So, I'll try and be back tomorrow. If not, I'll be back soon. I'll at least try to upload something tomorrow for you guys. So, but yeah, this is what all's been going on, and everything as of right now, whatever the date is on this. I don't even know the date off the top of my head. But at least as of right now, that's what I got for you. As there's developments, I am positive I will probably make more vlogs, but until I know more things, there's kind of no point in doing that. So, we shall see.